Welcome to the another live session with Bullsmart. Today with us we have Mr. M.K. Krishna, who work as the advisor trainer, knowledge management, SBI mutual fund. So welcome to the live session.
Thank you very much. Anyway,
So
we'll.
yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So today, yeah. So today's topic for the live session is the importance of diversification in mutual fund portfolio and its role in risk management. To start with, so we will ask Sir that why diversification is important in maintaining a portfolio, more or less in investment. So can you speak a little about that?
Wonderful. Once again, welcome back again for the second time. So I'll make it very short, crisp, and clear in a very capsule manner. I will make it. So coming to the point, whether somebody has got a 10 lakhs of 20 years of age, somebody has got a 30 years of 10 lakh rupees of age, then somebody has got a 50 years, but he's also got a 10 lakh same amount. When it comes to a deposit of a traditional banking, there is no question of point number one is risk aspect of it. Then coming to the second point of it, they will always look into whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, or 10 years. That's all. So it is all tenure based and it is never changed from age to age and other things. When it comes to investment, the 10 lakhs of 20 years man, 10 lakhs of a 40 years man, and 10 lakhs of a 60 years man, it is not only a tenure, and here you will have a different asset allocation, portfolios, and other things also. So that portfolio diversification, why you need that portfolio diversification, let me make it very clear. When three of us, we are going to a bank and investing 20 lakh by all the three, they will only ask you a time frame of whether it's 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. That's all the three will be getting the same thing, same ROA. That is ROA means rate of interest. He will give it a certificate. That's all. There is no question of risk, nothing. But here, when it comes to investment, automatically investment means the original capital amount that is invested, then periodical return on investment. I'm telling you, both keeps varying. Even the principal amount, whatever you call in the bank, that remains same for the entire tenure. Here, the capital, what you have invested in the case of investment, that can also fluctuate. The return on investment also can fluctuate. That is why it is called as a fixed income product. He is a variable income product. That's all, first basic thing. So coming to the portfolio diversification, this is what I told you. Assume that you are going for a travel or a short tour, etc. Whether it's a local, whether it is a national, whether it is a international. All the three are travel only. Whether you go to Bangalore to Bombay, it may be a plane. Whether Bangalore to Dubai, it is also a plane. But you cannot say both the flights are same, both the travel are same. The needs and requirements are different. That's all. When you land in just in a 3 hours flight of Singapore, your Indian currency does not work. Whereas the 3 hours travel of Singapore in the same thing is Delhi or Srinagar, it may be a travel of same 3 hours, but their Indian rupee works. So definitely when you need a different currency, there in the question of investment, you need a different asset class and at the same time different investments and different schemes also required. So coming to that, in the last 30, 40 years, the only thing we observed mainly is in the last 3 years only we have observed the major changes. That is why this diversification is required. And when you come to the investment world, here let everybody be careful. When you come to the investment world, when you go to a bank, there are only four types. One is a current account, savings bank account, fixed deposit, RD account. That's all. For all the name are deposit, but only the name changes, savings bank, current account, fixed deposit. But when it comes to the investment world, there are so many sectors coming to that. In terms of building itself, that is only housing itself is one sector. Building up your highways, roadways, waterways, and all these comes under the one particular sector. When you come to only cement, that itself is one sector. When you come to our investment world itself, banking itself is one sector, financial service another sector, etc. So like this, there are some 40 to 45 different major sectors are available in the investment world. So coming to that investment sector world, let us take the best example. See, in the old age and all, they used to say, try to have the vegetables and the fruits of that particular season. I'm giving an example. Why you should have the particular vegetable or fruits of that season mean in that particular season, that particular product is available in plenty. Automatically, the product also demand and supply will be meeting the requirement, and definitely the product you will be getting of the higher quality at the same time at the lower price. Now we are in the month of June. February to June, example, mango is a season. The same mango, what you get at March and what you get at April, what you get at the end of the June, the variety may be same, quality may be same, the pricing structure varies, I'm telling. The same mango, what you want to buy instead of April or May, if you want to be in December, so definitely you won't get a fresh fruit that may be kept in the frozen and refrigerated and thing. So you cannot get that price. Definitely for the storage, cold, warehouse, etc. Definitely you may get a mango in December, but you have to pay at a cost. So that is why I am telling you, markets and this investment and all the sectors all depends on the three factors of the economy, that is industry, service, business, etc. So equity markets, that equity market can be from hospital, that it can be from hospitality also. If you take the Bangalore example, Narayana Hridayalaya is a hospital sector, whereas MTR or some other chain, it is a hospitality sector. One is a hospital sector, other one is hospitality sector. One particular sector was affected in 2020 beginning, and one sector was performing extremely well. The period remains same, so the sector was doing in a different pattern and different style itself. And that is why when I am knowing very well the money what I have put as an investment, as a capital, if that fund is not performing, you don't have to sit in the same seat like a train or a bus or a reservation, etc. I am not comfortable. I can rebalance my portfolio. That's all I want to tell you. In order to have a rebalance of portfolio, automatically you need to have a change. You need to have a exit. You need to have a shift and other thing. Then you have to diversify portfolio. So, and today I quoted in the beginning itself, I know very well, I believe in such particular faith. I belong to one particular segment of people, and 31st May today is recognized as world over as a non-tobacco day. That is one example. So even in one is a non-tobacco day, that is one part of it. At the same time, we had a company in our own India that is a very one of the flagship companies, one of the blue chip companies we used to call ITC. That ITC means what? It is an Indian tobacco company or Imperial Tobacco, all those things there. So it does. Sometimes it does not go by name here, I'm telling you. Maybe the tobacco company. But when the rules, regulations, and other things, since it was affecting the environment, because in the previous webinar, you mentioned only about the ESG products only, I'm telling. So definitely today's tobacco day, the cigarette is going to affect the environment and other thing. Some 15, 20 years when they brought a changes and all, that particular sector or a company, they did not change the name of the company. They continue to have the name of ITC only, but they changed and diversified from the regular routine. So they went even into the hotel sector. That is why you find ITC Windsor, one of the example. So just because of the name of IT company, don't think you are going to invest in only cigarette. No, they have come out in the biscuit, they have come out in the beverages, they have come to so many rural products, etc., etc. That is why in order to have a better return, ultimately I am going to spread my investment. Instead of putting the money in one basket, I will put little here, little wallet, little in the debit card, little in the multi-currency card and all. I am going to make a spread. That spread is nothing but the diversification. This is the first message I want. Second message is not all the time, all the companies, all the sectors will continue to perform in the same sector. That's all I want to tell you. Some 10 years back, lot of companies, because of the cheap labor available, etc., they closed or they started outsourcing. Instead of India, they started outsourcing into country like China and other things. And later on, when they started outsourcing to China, etc., they found they may be getting the product or outsourcing, etc., at the lower rate, but they were not very happy about the quality of the products and other things. So all those things, these are all one of the examples. And you know very well, in the last 5 6 months, I think no many majority of you working maybe in the IT sector or BT sector or IoT sector, there was so many ups and downs in that particular IT sector. There was so many downsizing, etc. And what grew up very well from 2020, 21, 22 in the just in 1 year, especially in the e-commerce business and all, there was a big dip itself, I'm telling you. A lot of thousands of people were laid off in so many. So just because I got a fancy, just because I'm a favorite of that particular company, no, I will not continue to hold or stay invested or stay put in that amount. So I will change my plan or change my asset class, change my portfolio from this particular sector and this particular company to diversify to some other thing. So this is given a overall reply. Now coming to in general about the market, since definitely when it comes to diversification in portfolio, it majority it relates to equity only. When it comes to equity, when you know very well, example BSE, when you got about 6,000 to 7,000 companies, only the top 100 companies comes under the large cap as per the SEBI's definition, large cap. But all the 100 companies are having the same features, product features, or the same whatever you call portfolio, etc. Means there also I am telling you in the last webinar you have chosen ESG only. That ESG itself we had in our own SBI mutual fund called as Magnum Equity Fund. The same fund has been made into environment or social responsibility related, then the governance related. So the same way even SBI blue chip fund is there. That blue chip means 100 companies. That fund manager has got a choice to invest in any of the 100 companies. When it comes to the same ESG, the same EMG is called Magnum Equity Fund. That was also pertained into large cap only, but he will have a limitation to hardly 25 or 30 companies. But ultimately, the customer depends on what taste you want. Example, and even in a Bangalore is known for getting good coffee wherever you go. But even if you go for a company, the moment he goes, the server and the waiter will ask, you want less or plus? Then he says without milk, etc. Then you want to have black coffee, etc. Why? That taste, preferences, choices, everything different. So that is why this is a need-based product. Any investment product or market-related, all these are all knowledge-oriented, need-based product. So it is like one-on-one discussion between like a physician and a patient, the investor and the investment advisor. They'll have to sit and discuss. That is why the diversification is required. So here I am coming to the next part of it. As an young person, he has got a long span of another 30. Example, I told you a 20-year-old man who has joined a company just then, he has got another 30, 40 years to go. So definitely he will think, oh, I have got 40 years time, I have got a long earning span and other thing. So I don't mind taking risk for a longer time. So I will choose a portfolio wherein even if it's slightly risky, I look forward for a higher return. But a person who has already worked for 20, 25 years, he would have been in the mid 40s or mid 50s. He will have a family responsibility and other things. He will have so many liabilities and maybe on a vehicle loan and a housing loan and other things. His stature and financial status will be different. So what a 20 years man has taken a risk, that 45 years man, he cannot take risk. So definitely at the time he may choose that when it comes to portfolio, instead of a pure equity, slowly he may go for a hybrid equity. This is another example I am telling. So when it comes to a retirement stage or 60, so what happens at the age of 60? Automatically his regular income regular earning, other things stops. So whatever you would have accumulated, whatever you would have earned, and whatever that person would have got as a terminal benefit from any company or establishment you would have earned, he has to safeguard that money for remaining period of the life, remaining part of life. At the same time, get some return on investments also. So at that time, he cannot continue in the last 20 years, whatever schemes or the product here. So at that time also he has to diversify or change his portfolio also. So here I have given you a broader outlook on earlier 35 minutes. Now I have given you another 15 minutes of detail on this one. Why a portfolio? Why that diversification required, etc. And example. Now I mentioned in the previous 30 minutes talk, the India is going on a big expansion in terms of smart cities and all. I quoted. What are smart cities? Even in India itself, in the Karnataka itself, 2 months back, we saw inauguration of one more in the town of Shimoga. There, I know very well in Karnataka, you have got some 4 or 5 airways. I mean, sorry, runways. One is in Belgaum, one is in Gulbarga also, one is in Hubli also, one is in Bidar also. But the one what has been designed in Shimoga, there even a Airbus 320 also can land, and I have gone personally seen. It is a 3 kilometer stretch runway. In the sense, they are developing some 200 smart cities in our India. So automatically, when they are going to smart cities, highways they have to improve, waterways they have to improve, airways they have to improve, airports they have to improve. Ultimately, a lot of money is going to be spent or invested by government of India, etc., on infrastructure itself. So definitely, when I know these next 2 3 years is going to give good return, particular infrastructure, I will definitely switch over my present investment to one particular sector or companies to infrastructure. So these are all the examples I have given, and let me not be giving only a one-sided statement. And I am sure a lot of people would like to interact also. And the next 10 minutes, let me use, now it is around 5:05. Let me use it for answering some of the questions and other things. Okay, that would be better. Before we have any disruption in the internet or signal, let me answer so that they should not get disappointed.
So beautifully explained by you, sir. So leading to your explanation about portfolios. So in a portfolio based of mutual funds, generally mutual funds have their own diversified holdings. So why further diversification in a portfolio of mutual funds is required?
That's what I'm telling you. The scenario or the economy and all, it will not be continuous and constant throughout. Because in the last 2 3 years, example, the country like India itself. So the national level policy has been taken. What they want, by another 3 years or 5 years, our India should be in a $5 trillion economy. When they say about the $5 trillion economy, they have to spend the money on MSME sector. What is MSME? That is micro, small, and medium enterprises and all. I had changed the definition MSA instead of micro, small. We are always looking into manufacturing sector. Then S means startup, etc. Then M means make in India, then stand up India, startup India, and so many things are happening. When they are going to invest something on an accelerating condition, a catalytic condition, etc., you cannot say with the same thing. I know very well I like a traditional food of rice, rasam, sambar, and all. But when I am going to North India, I want to have means it's not available. Let me go for roti, sabji, and other things. So change is the only thing which is constant. Let me tell you. And another example I want to give you why you have to go for a change. Till not only 2020, not only 2020, same laptop was available, same internet was available, same desktop was available. Were we doing any webinar and virtual till March 2020? No, we did not. Everything was available. We were not making use of the thing. So technology keeps on changing. Technique also keeps changing. You have to adjust to the technology and the technique, both I am telling you. That is why it warrants change of portfolio and the sectors and the same diversification. Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir. So, so you talked about change. So too much change is also not good. So in case of diversification, is there something known as over diversification? If
No,
it
I
is
don't
there,
use
then
the
what are
word
the
over.
consequences of over diversification?
Yeah, let me tell you, there are so many aggressive investors, there are so many conservative investors, and there are some investors very moderate, etc. Here, I just want to come and tell you, if those who are attending today, if majority of them are from the salary segment means whatever we get monthly, whatever the remuneration, they are on salary segment. In the case of salary segment, majority of them, they will go for one type of mode of investment, that is SIP, that is systematic investment plan. So when you are in the case of systematic investment plan, you would have chosen some 2, 3 schemes you would have been investing. So where there is no question of over diversification, under diversification, etc., etc. When it comes to direct equities, etc., direct investments, etc., there are chances that you would have focused leaning towards only one particular steering during that period. Suddenly the policy changes, something happens. Suddenly government comes out with something. I can give you one of the examples of yesterday. Yesterday I attended the ZTV news panel discussion on school textbooks and school reopening. I am giving an example. You know very well, I am sure many of them who are attending, they also have got a children. Even my grandchild was supposed to have the school day after tomorrow starting, 3rd of June, etc. And when the school is reopening, means textbooks are ready, etc. Am I right? That's I'm telling the example of Karnataka. When the date is fixed, textbooks are ready. Suddenly, the policy of the changes of the formation of the government happened, and whatever that money was invested around to the extent of 265 crores, now they wanted to keep it in abeyance, whether to give the textbook, not to give the textbooks, and all. These are all the political changes, policy changes. So many changes happen which are under no control of anybody. Okay. Next, one more I am telling example. And 3 years back at the national level, they came out with the national education policy. Am I right, sir? Among the national, it was the only one state which it was implemented, introduced was Karnataka. Suddenly, just because the political changes happened, now they said they want to go against it on that thing. So now you cannot come out with that. That is why I said nobody can time the market, nobody can predict the market. And whoever is there, if they are in the SIP route, that is always best. Why the SIP route is best is if the market goes up, your market value goes up. If the market comes down, your number of units or the asset will go up. I'm telling you. Both ways it is advantageous.
So you mentioned about SIP. So apart from SIP, what other asset classes should be included in a diversified portfolio?
Beautiful, beautiful, well diversified. Apart from equity or SIP, I'm telling you. See, that way we started our career some 30, 40 years back, we would have started at 500 rupees, 1000 rupees salary and all. But now, in the last 10 years, the salary structure, the entry level remuneration and thing, everything has changed. I'm telling you one thing. Now, when it comes to everyone should have always 5% to the extent of cash reserve with them because we don't know when you need, etc. Now, example, savings bank, what is there in our banking, and which was earlier 4.5%, 5%, it has come to 2.5% now, savings bank. So any day you need at least 4 to 5 months money as your reserve, as your cash reserve. Why I am telling you, you should have this diversified asset. In the month of middle June 2020, lot of people went to Delhi, lot of people went to Dubai, lot of people went to Dubai, so many places. 3 months they could not come back at all. You remember all the instances? The unforeseen situation that happened. So at least 4 to 5 months reserve you should have. So instead of keeping the money in your salary account of your banking, that is savings bank. In the mutual fund, please go for the savings fund account. This is one asset class or a diversification that is required. Even if you have got a 1 lakh balance, I mean, at least 4 to 5 lakhs, whatever you should have in that fund, thereby your return is much higher and it is safer and it is not going to be affected by any market relation, market fluctuations also.
Okay, sir. So,
Any question you can ask.
yeah. So to encounter the changes in the market, so you have to rebalance your portfolios. So
That's
how
what I told you. You
frequently?
cannot sit in the same chair for a long time. You do the rebalancing the portfolio once in a year. Do it because as on 31st March, every fund house will be giving your portfolio statement, etc. What are your holdings? When did you invest? What is the present market value? What is the current value? Whether there has given a upward trend or downward trend, or whether it has underperformed, or all the things are there. So sit for a while, sit with an advisor like you, and find out the discussion and all. If it is not performing, there is no question of sentimental attachment and all. You have to switch, you have to change, you have to go to the other one. That is nothing but diversifying. That's all.
So we will go on to the second part of our
Please.
topic. So what is the role of diversification in risk management?
Beautiful
Could
risk,
you
I'm telling you. Yeah, well, I'm telling you, see, your name of your company itself, Bullsmart. Generally, you say when it comes to market, either it is in the bull run or a bearish run. It's a bullish market or a bearish market. So now you know very well from 2020, from 23,000, it has come to 60,000. I may not use the word it's a bull market. On the other hand, from 2020 to 2023, in the 3 years, it has been constantly going, growing, and it has been getting on well. I can't use the word bull market, but it is a growing market. So when it comes to that, there is no question of fear for investments, etc. And even the fund manager, the investment management team also confidently think, oh, whether large cap doing well, mid cap doing well, or small cap will doing, all the markets are doing well. So there is no question of fear of markets, risk, and other things. Whereas now in the last 4 5 months, I mentioned about the one particular segment I am telling you. Example, e-commerce business, what happened in the last 4 5 months. So definitely they may not keep the money in the same. Definitely they would like to withdraw, or a lot of people would have lost the jobs and other things. At the time, in particular sector, it is slightly risky. So do not try to continue the risk. You change over and rebalance your portfolio, change over to some other thing instead of getting in that risky zone or risk prone sectors. That's all.
so at the last, sir, so what should be a beginner strategy towards diversification?
Beautiful. What should be the strategy to? I'm telling you, generally by the age of 20 or 22, whether you do your BTech, MTech, or MBA, etc., by the age of 20 or 22, normally a person completes his education. So nowadays, you don't have to search for the job. A lot of people get that campus recruitment, placement, etc. Assume somebody, some 100 people are getting a job in the age group of 22 to 23. So only one formula this morning I quoted in some other place, I'm telling you. Everyone knows Mercedes-Benz has got a one logo, one circle with a triangle inside. Am I right? Only 1/3 of the money you spend for your family or personal expenses, 1/3 of your income. So in the sense, out of 100 rupees, 33 rupees you can spend for your thing. And when you join at the age of 22, you need a vehicle, you need a car. At the same time, 23, 24, you plan for your nowadays independent house and other things. So another 1/3 you can spend for your meeting your EMIs, purchase, asset creation and other things. Remaining 1/3 should be purely for your savings and investment. And that 1/3 when it comes to savings and investment, you try to go in for try to go in for not one particular scheme. I am telling you, go for 2, 3 schemes. I am telling you, have one large cap with you. You also have one focused equity fund with you, and also you have some multi-cap also with you. That strategy 3, it will go well. Or if somebody's risk is slightly higher, in the sense he is only one earning member, more dependence on there, so you cannot risk entire thing into equity. In some, you can portfolio shift into little into hybrid equity also. Instead of 2 schemes or 3 schemes, go for 4 schemes. That's all I'm telling you. That will adjust it.
So with that, we have to come to the end of our session. Thank you, sir, for allotting us your precious time out of your
Yeah, sorry,
busy
I
schedules.
forgot. I forgot one point. I mean, you asked for freshers. What is the strategy? This is. I mean,
Yes.
this is a message I want to give and close. Unlike me, all those who are joining, whether it is a private sector, whether it is a government sector, whether it is a public sector, there is no pension and social security. So keep in mind, there is no pension. I am fortunate, I am getting pension. But those who are joining after 2005 or 2009, there is no social security pension. So you have to make a provision for your own social security. You have to plan for your retirement plan also from the beginning itself. I am telling you, not planning after 45 or 50. You have to start planning for it, because inflation is the one which goes up very fast. If at all you want to have an inflation adjusted return, start planning from the beginning, start investing from the early. So with these few words, I am ending that topic today. Now it is 5:17 exactly. 30 minutes we have covered.
Yes. So with that, we end our session. We will be back with the new topic, new speakers, and till then, happy investing and thank you.